Hello, welcome back to fixbuildrace and welcome to my new garage.
How good! Woo! Look at this beauty.
So I know it's been a minute and I'm sorry about that, but as you can see this is why. Moving into a new house is a big ordeal, and there was a few things to be done, lots of money to be spent, and just takes up a lot of my time. So that's the reason that the videos have been, well, there hasn't been any for a while. But this isn't the only reason for this video. I actually bought another car, which you might be thinking, why have you bought another car when you just bought a house and you've got a Sylvia project to do? But the car is to be fixed and sold on. A friend of mine moved overseas and he gave me a deal I could not pass up, so I had to buy it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I've already done a bit of work on it and filmed that by myself. Did an intro, but it was shit, so we'll go with this one with Aaron here. By the way, hi Aaron.
Hey.
So I'll show you what I did last week in just a minute, and then today, well, you'll see there's some damage on the fender, so we're going to be managed to pick up another fender, which you'll also see, and we're going to be painting that today. So yes, garage, Sylvia tucked in the corner behind these beautiful poles that are very fun to back around with my nice straight car. But yeah, managed to shoehorn it in there. As you can see, some workbenches in the back, which are an absolute mess, covered in Sylvia parts, which is exciting. So you might be able to spot some bits in there, or you'll be able to see the... Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. You can just pause the video if you want and have a look at what I've got. Yeah, it came with those shelves that now house all my products. And yeah, I need to sort this mess out, but yeah, bear with me, I'm still working on it. For now we got another project to play with, and yeah, working on some other stuff too, so I guess let's get into it.
Oosh.
So without further ado, here is my 1999 Subaru Impreza SRX. Sadly not a WRX, but being an SRX means it came with a few extra goodies, like this rally spec front fender. It has a 2 litre VVT engine with drive going to all 4 wheels through an automatic gearbox. But enough about that, time to fix some good old Subaru oil leaks. Alright, so I've got the car up in the air now on stands. As you can see, I've got the bonnet open, and that's because this thing needs both rocker covers and a set of spark plugs. Good old Subi spark plug job, but I'm going to show you that doing spark plugs on a Subi is not actually that bad. I do it all the time at work, and yeah, no stress. It also, I think, is due for a train service. It's not shifting harshly, but it just feels like it's a bit tired, and I think it just needs new fluid and filter, so I've got that, and we're going to try to do that today as well. So I've already given the engine bay a wash down because it was absolutely filthy and I didn't fancy getting covered in all that shite. So now we've got a nice cleaner slate to work with. I can still see there's a lot of grime everywhere, but we did get it a lot better. So spark plugs on a Subi. First things first, remove battery and airbox. Sometimes can get away with leaving the washer bottle in there, so we'll see if we can do that. Actually no, I'm going to remove it because I'm doing the rock covers anyway. So battery, washer bottle, airbox, and then we should have decent access into the sides. Now to do Subi spark plugs, it's a really good idea to get one of these spark plug sockets with a universal extension built into it. They make it so easy. Or you can just get in there with a normal tube socket and a short extension. Not that hard, but this is the cheat code. Alright, got all the plugs out now and I'm going to replace them with some Bosch plugs. These are FR7 DCX Plus. Alright, so I've just stopped for a bite to eat and some more caffeine, so I'm ready to dive into the rocker covers. You're probably not going to be able to see much. It's just all the 10 mils around, pull them off. Pretty simple process. If there's anything to show, I will show it. If not, we'll get into the auto trans service. Alright, as you can see, we're under the car now, very comfortable. And I'm going to drain the oil from the trans. As you can see, it's a bit grimy around the transmission oil pan as well, so I've got a gasket for that hopefully is the right one. And on Subis they have a oil filter on the side of the transmission, just a spin-on one, so I've got one of those. It also came, the gasket came with the pickup, which may have another filter inside it, not sure, so once I get this off I'll see if that's the right thing, so hopefully it is and I can replace that too. But for now, just going to drain the oil, and my cheapy drain tray has lines on it there. I'm going to see how much comes out and I'm just going to put that much back in by the dipstick, and then run it and set the level running, which you're meant to do. Oh yeah, look at that, that's brown. So, good thing we're doing this, I think. Morning. Ah! After a day of working on a Subaru, I'm a bit defeated and my garage is an absolute mess. So I finished here for the day and came back to it in the morning. There's a magnet in the bottom of the pan which was covered in some fine metallic dust, which is as to be expected, so I got a good clean out and then resealed and fit back to the transmission. With the new filter also installed, it was then time to refill the transmission with some fresh fluids. Alright, so as you've just seen, I've put the oil into the transmission. I put 5.5 litres because close to 6 came out, so I'm going to start with 5.5. I'm going to expect that I'll probably go up to 6 litres, maybe a bit more because some probably leaked out. But to set the level on auto transmissions, I don't know about all autos, but definitely these older Japanese ones and definitely this one, you fire it up and have it running, so the torque converter is spinning, the oil is pumping and flowing, and once it gets warm and the oil all expands, that's when you set the level. This dipstick has a cold level and a warm level, but I'm going to let it get warm and set the level warm because that's where it operates, so I'd rather have it set there just to be safe. So yeah, fire it up, get it warm and set the level. I'm going to open the doors in the garage now so I don't fume myself out. Alright, so I've just got the car on the road, just put some gas in it because it was dead empty. And I'm just testing it out, see if the transmission feels any better. There was a slight misfire, so I'll see if I can feel that anymore. Going up a hill, yeah, everything feels sweet. Just went up a hill, so it's got a bit more load on it. Can't feel any sort of miss. I guess over the next few days I will find out properly if it's gone, but transmission feels good, feels better. It's still an old transmission, so it's not smooth as butter or anything, but definitely feels good. So I think we'll call that a success. And when I was running it up to set the transmission level, I could see there was no leaks, there was no drips on the floor after running it up, getting it warm, so, and no drips around the bottom of the rock covers, so I could still get under there, so I think we're good. Next up, some body work. I hit up my local wreckers and got really lucky with the super straight fender, So a quick scuff of the edges and then hit it with the palm sander and it was ready to lace and paint.
Peekaboo. So here we go, we got the full setup. Look at this.
Welcome to the fixbuildrace paint booth.
Bob's your uncle, right?
All good.
Super easy.
See how this goes.
Yeah.
There may be some cars painted in here in future if it goes well. If my lovely partner doesn't kill me after I paint the roof.
yeah, we decided that wasn't important, so.
Decided that was a step too far.
Yeah.
But Aaron said yes, maybe I should just throw something on the floor.
Yeah.
Might be a wise idea.
I don't know, we'll see, like, better to be, you know, we can always.
The paint does like to fall, and I don't know.
Yeah, gravity does apply.
Cans before, so we'll see how it falls, how thick it is. Some paint just likes to settle real heavy.
Yeah.
And that would be my floors coated in a nice grey.
Bit of a racing stripe.
Would be nice to like coat the floor in future or like polish the concrete.
Polished concrete, yeah.
So like if I painted it I could just like clean it. So I sanded this down yesterday and then just spot primed any bare metal from fender bolts and where I rubbed through the bare metal with etch prime. And then just 1200 grit sanded that just now. So hopefully she's good to go. Hopefully the paint all sticks.
Yep.
Not like paint jobs in the past, which I guess I should say I'm not a professional. So I'm sure you'll see, if you are a professional, you'll see me doing shit wrong. Or if you're more experienced.
But hey, you gotta learn somehow, right?
Touching the part, I just what?
Yeah.
So I'm just heating the can up. The times that I've heated the can up, I've got better results, so I just stick to doing it now. They do, some of them say on them like spray between 10 and 35 degrees or whatever. It's winter at the moment, so yeah, it's not that cold of a day, but yeah, I just find heating the can up helps it lay better. Fucking hell, the can's like spitting. Alright, Aaron had to cut tracks, but we've got the fender and the base coat. Had some issues with the paint blotting and like thick drops dropping in the paint, which was annoying, but I switched to the other can and luckily it didn't do that, so that was all good. The fender also fell off the stands after the second coat. Didn't touch it, it just randomly fell off. I think it must have been the wind or something and it was just balancing. So that was also annoying, but luckily we saved it. Managed to let it dry and wax and grease remove it and the dust and stuff came out. So that was alright, so here we go. Is a little bit orange peely as you get with rattle cans. You could wet sand it out, but I don't think I'm going to worry. I'm happy with the colour, happy with how it turned out, so now I'm just going to spray the clear. It's dried for a while, it's touch dry. See if I... So, don't think I'll wax and grease remover it just in case it messes with the paint. I'm just going to spray the clear on, straight on now. Hopefully it goes well. Just pulling this crinkled fender off. It's ready to come off now, it's all loose. But something I just noticed, and is going to be a giveaway that the fender is painted, is that Subaru's, or at least this Subaru, has the nice paint here, but on the inside of the fender, it's actually just the same as the engine bay, so it's non-metallic paint on the inside of the fender, and I've painted the full fender the metallic colour, so that's going to be a dead giveaway that the fender has been painted. And Thought I'd let you guys know if you're looking at buying a Subaru, then you'll be able to tell if the fenders have been painted, meaning it may have been in a crash or something, because the insides shouldn't be metallic. So there you go, hope that helps. Before fitting the new fender, there was also a bit of damage on the door, so I masked it off and gave that a quick sand down and a touch-up paint. And I know what you're thinking, but this actually turned out way better than I expected. After giving it a wet sand, you can barely even tell that there was a repair done. Now to surgically add the fender. Alright, fender is all fit up. Unfortunately, it's not a complete match, but I think that might just be because of the clear. I think the paint was actually really good. The base, got the gaps all true and nice, but yeah, it looks a bit duller. I think that is because of the clear coat though, so hopefully with a wet sand and a polish it'll come up mint. I haven't got the indicator in because on the old fender, after it was hit, it must have broke, but enough that it was savable, and they've like drilled a hole in it, put a screw in it and put a hole in there, but I don't want to do that on this smooth clean fender, so I'm gonna go get another one of those. So yeah, next up, fix the steering wheel and then give it a full groom and detail, and then up for sale. Got the airbag out, now it's time to remove the wheel because all this needs to go. I've got a kit to repair this, so I'm just gonna give it the bash. Do one of these. Shit, this one does not want to come. Hey, there we go. Alright, so I got my steering wheel repair kit here. Steering wheel off the car, obviously, as you can see. Instructions. No, I'm kidding. I actually need those because I don't want to mess this up. I want to get it laying nice, even, flat, and looking OEM. So I'm going to take my time and read these and figure out what I actually need to do. Alright, just had a good read of the instructions, and I'm just test fitting it around the wheel. So this is what we got. Just slips over. It is a shaped piece of fabric. I went for the smooth and perforated combination, just like what the factory would have been before it all wore the heck down. Just trying it over, you can't really feel any of this through the new cover, so I'm picking that you leave this on. It's made to go over the top of this, so this does look like the right thing after trying it on. So I'm just going to trim any of these bits off that I can, just so that it has a better surface to stick on. It gives you double-sided tape to use to stick it down, and then you sew it together. So I'm a bit worried because my sewing skills aren't the best, but we'll see how we go. Now I'll save you the agony of watching the sewing portion of the steering wheel repair because it was an absolute nightmare, but that's due to the technique I was using when I first started. But after learning there was a much easier way to do it, it went quite smoothly, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I then replaced the side markers with a clear option, and I think they look way better. And then it was time to get rid of the dullness in this fender and get rid of the masking line on the door with a wet sand and a cut and polish. And lastly, I removed all the glue residue from the monsoons which were once on this car. So after ripping off what was left on one side, I used a caramel wheel in my drill to remove the glue residue. Now this made an absolute mess of the car, so I'm really glad I didn't wash it first. And for most of this project I've had a torn ligament and been in a moon boot for part of it, so that's been really fun. So thankfully Aaron came over and helped me give it a wash. And overall I'm really happy with the end result of this project. I think my paint job on the fender went really well considering all the factors, and I definitely learned a bunch from it, and it's just more experience to take with me in future. Now I hope you enjoyed this first little project from my new house. I can't wait to rip into more, but for now the car is up for sale, so if this is something you want to get your hands on, shoot me a DM on Instagram. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.